Is it possible to visit the best food and drink spots in Paris in 48 hours? We have an ultimate list from chefs, and if we don't make it, we've got ourselves a pretty bad forfeit. This is exactly what we didn't want to happen. We're going to be crossing Paris. Classic bistro, cult boulangerie, and if you know chef hangout, and a secret bar that Parisians literally won't tell tourists about. 48 hours is not a lot of time. We've got to hit the first couple places, kit, pants and all. But there's a catch. These places are booked out, which would have been fine had we not planned this trip just 2 days ago. And we thought the hardest part would be getting tables, but it wasn't. It was, oh Jesus.
Oh my.
We're back here again. This is a nice full circle moment. Le pain et des. This has been a bakery since 1875, but in this current iteration since 2002. The card that was in there that had a wedding on it and Candy Kittens footage on it.
You didn't work that.
Will is currently in the Channel Tunnel, so we can't ask him any questions. We thought there was no footage on this camera. However, that looks like a wedding. Are you just deleting it? Huh? Why is there nothing there?
You didn't work that.
So that's fine then?
Yes, fine.
Oh, yes! Doug has never ever had a pan squeeze before, so this is like learning to drive in a Ferrari pista, Doug. You're gonna piss your pants. You know, it's very French in there, it's very traditional. They don't really give a shit that we got cameras. As in, like, they don't want us in there, but I did get some sneaky filming on my blower. We've got a couple of good ones here. This is all we need. So basically, it's like layers of pastry with like a custard and then like chocolate bits in it and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
It's like a pan au chocolat, but just way, way, way better.
Oh wow, it's as good as it gets, mate.
Doug has settings saying, that's awful, that's nice. And when he says that's nice, he means I don't really like it. I'm just gonna try and be polite. The top level that Doug has in his entourage is, that's dank. Look at that. That is a pistachio escargot pastry. The pastry here has almost like a caramel complexity to it. Almost like a little burnt sugar. It's so good. So much kit. Here we go. Doug the donkey.
Donkey Dick Doug.
We really wanted to film at Bistro de Tournelle. We wanted to film there when we were here last time, never made it. And so they've given us a little window of opportunity, and we were gonna try and walk it, but now we're getting a cab instead because we're just gonna be too late. That spot, oh my God. We're here, arriving with kit because time is of the essence. Bistro de Tournelle has been here for over 120 years. And when Eduardo was trying to get this at least 3.5 years ago, he was bidding against the guy who wants to turn it into like a poke bowl restaurant. The landlord wanted it to stay this true French classic, and so gave it to Eduardo because he was going to carry on that historic dream. So this is one of Paris's busiest bistros, but this is one of the smallest commercial kitchens I've seen. This is where you come if you want those really good French classics, but done to another level. See that butter that was poured into that dish? The chef just said, welcome to France.
Welcome to France, of course, yes.
So oyster mushrooms, loads of butter, parsley and garlic, all the main French food groups. Duck liver, foie gras. The yellow on top is duck fat, encases terrine below. Divine, have it with brioche. So you're getting that ultimate sweet and salty. That is just a French classic done really right. Does. Eat foie gras episode. Yeah, nice. No, you're happy with that? Yeah. You know the massively famous chef, Alain Ducasse? He has over 20 Michelin stars to his name. He's a French chef. And he came in here and he was making notes. Because he has bistros and he was coming here to do a bit of research. You know what I'm saying? This is the cordon bleu. So it's turkey, ham, and a chef will choose their own cheese to go inside. Here, they do Comté. So unbelievably French. But what is really fun is to sit in a bistro like this that has remained unchanged for over 100 years and just think about all the people that have been through here. That's fun, and that feels really, really special. Oh boy, the meat is wonderful. That marbling, all that fat content through the steak is great. That pepper sauce is almost fruity. It has so much life to it. It tastes like a date. But when you're making a sauce, you want all this like cartilage in the bones. This is like the meat jus, and then you get a real rich reduction. Something that starts very big, becomes very small, but very rich and powerful.
Of course.
This might be my fastest from arriving in Paris to actually having a creme brulee in front of me. Do you want some crack? Creme brulee with Madagascan vanilla. That is so dainty. It's almost like a creme anglaise. It's like so light and fluffy almost. Tarte tatin, very classic French dessert with apples and crisp, crunchy pastry. Oh God. These apples have basically been broken down to the point that they almost become like a gummy sweet. I wasn't particularly excited for this tart. This one has just changed the game. Oh my God, we meant to leave 16 minutes ago, dude. 2 locations down, but now we are finally checking in at Experimental Marais. Oh, we're all next door to one another. That's cute, guys. Here we go. Oh, no, it isn't there. Oh, of course, I don't know which one.
This is gorgeous, mate.
It's not the most gargantuan and spacious, but in terms of like all the details and how lived in it feels in the best way possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
We can shower together.
And a bath.
It's the mirror to the mirror to the mirror.
From the window to the wall. This sweat drips down my and we're in the middle of Paris. In Marais, one of the coolest, fashionable districts. As hotel rooms go, this is one of the nicest I've ever been in.
Oh man, training.
Cab's longer than a walk. It's Paris, so they'll just cancel on us about 9 times.
It does make things difficult.
When you're running out of juice, plug me in and cut me loose.
What are you creeps up to?
Just caught Doug coming out of here. Doug. Poppers are 10 euros.
Joking.
Yeah.
Much more expensive in England.
This next place, Devi, is definitely not in any tourist guidebook. No, sir. There's a few different things going on here. Here, you have the Cave, which is like the wine bar. Next door, you have the Comptoir de Vie, where you eat. And underneath that is the Bar de Vie, cocktail bar. You ready to eat, Will?
I am.
We can stuff more in you than we stuff in me this time. So the chef Adam has a fine dining background, which he's brought here. However, it is fine dining, but it's approachable, it's friendly, it's fun fine dining. I do not want to be reductive to anyone's food, but I've sort of described this as like a prawn cracker, but it is made with radish, dusting of beetroot, a little yogurt ranch dip to go with it. Oh yeah. They've sourced a particular hay from Normandy so they can smoke the yogurt. So when you eat it, it's like you've got a full bonfire in your mouth in the best way possible. Devi is as much about the drinks as it is about the food. They don't use any ice here. Might be the only cocktail bar I've ever been into where they have 0 ice. So glasses they can't fit in their freezer, they cool them down with liquid nitrogen. Like Exhibit A in this drink, which I can describe as like a sexy michelada. Little tomato dusting down here. It's made from the skins left over from the kitchen. They dry them out, turn them into a powder, nice little garnish. Yes, that is a sexy michelada. That's what it is. Right, Will, what do you know about Hungarian blue pumpkins?
Not as much as you, mate.
So this dish here, this is our pumpkin dish. It has a kimchi hollandaise over top of it, which looks vivacious and delicious. Well, I've eaten pumpkin in my time, but I haven't had this type of texture. And they take the guts from the pumpkin, you know, like all the seeds and straggly bits, and they ferment that into an oil and incorporate that into the flesh of the pumpkin, which gives it a punchy flavor and works into that texture. That is crazy. The guys, Alex, Rory and Barney, all met at Little Red Door, awarded one of the top 50 bars in the world. Big on produce, suppliers, and being unbelievably creative with what you can put in a drink.
We roast the duck at 220. It's roasted in a molasses, but we make the molasses. So all of our peelings, apple cores.
Like compost.
Everything that's
Compost molasses. So if I was putting all that into ChatGPT to give you a 5-word version, duck breast cooked in bin juice molasses with a walnut tonkatsu and smoky beetroots. If you can cast your mind back, the best bit of meat you've ever eaten, where you had that little epicenter where it's so melty and tender. Oh my God. Your brain's thinking, hang on, that wasn't what I expected to eat. That's what that duck is. Corn-infused ice cream with poached plums. It's delicate. The ice cream has that almost like the sort of cornflake milk flavor to it. It has a wonderful balance and it brings you really nicely out of your big savory adventure.
Everyone that thinks we should go to Harry's bar now, raise your hand. Yay! Oh, there we go. Everyone. It's a full house.
Would you agree that Harry's New York bar is like Paris' most iconic bar?
Yeah. The
Right.
whole world looks at Harry's New York bar in Paris because of the drinks they created 100 years ago.
This is just not ideal. Harry's New York bar. I cannot believe they've actually given us permission to film in here. This is an icon. This is the oldest cocktail bar in Europe. There are so many iconic cocktails that started here, and they have evidence to show that. Things like the Bloody Mary, the French 75, the Sidecar, the Blue Lagoon. In 1910, there was a jockey, and he wanted to have an American-style bar in Paris.
Counter you're on, the place we're in actually existed in New York. It was dismantled in 1910, shipped to Paris, and reassembled in Paris.
But once it was complete, very quickly, it was then known as Harry's Bar. can come to Harry's New York bar and have one of their old traditional classics that they invented here. Or you can have one of their more new age ones like this, Naughty Bastard. This is vodka based, but it sort of tastes like a spicy mark. Very citrus, very zesty, that is good. And the hot dogs, what's the story there?
So it's the only food we do, proper American snack. So 50% of our customer base are American. It's approved. When they come here, they approve our hot dogs. So
I didn't want to like it, but that is goddamn delicious. During the Second World War, when France and Paris was occupied by the Nazis, they took over this bar, they drank everything. But what they didn't drink, the spirits from the back bar, because they thought they might be poisoned. That back bar, all those spirits, are now those top 2 shelves, because it survived the Second World War. Harry's bar is a big fat tick on our list. That is the iconic bar of Paris. We couldn't have got more... Sorry. We couldn't have got a bigger felt tip out to tick that box, I'm telling you. Okay, boys, that's a day very well did. We've got to keep on schedule, can't miss anything. Tomorrow morning, we actually find out what the forfeit is. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow with another new spot. Who knows? We're out, we're done. Got 2 missed calls from Will, so that would suggest that he is downstairs. It's not uncommon that in the morning, Will is waiting for me. Never supremely late, just... From who? Morning. Morning. The vlogger himself.
Blue skies, baby.
That is very, very good news. Now we are walking to the first stop today, which is Motors Coffee. Oh,
what?
This is a trip down memory lane, isn't it, Will? The Inside Out building. Like they've got a building on... turn it inside out. All its guts are on the outside. That is the Pompidou. Also, Will, later today we have one of your favourite places on planet Earth. Not like the specific place, but just the type of place.
Chocolate.
We have coffee shops everywhere, but we have very few coffee labs. Places where coffee isn't just a product they sell, it is in them. Motors Coffee in the 4th is exactly that.
We have 2 independent grinders, Weber's, so the best grinder you can find in the world. This is for pour over, and this is for espresso.
Well, I'm about to have a €25 pour over. If you blind tasted that, you'd swear that has like milk or cream in it. That's quite crazy. What's the benefit of having a manual system?
So you can slow down the extraction at the end to make it smoother and have a very, very clean aftertaste.
God, that's quite mad, isn't it? When they opened, they were doing brunchy items. And then they just felt after a while, it's like really distracting from their coffee operation. So they stopped all food apart from their pastries. And Laura, one of the owners, was like, you have to have this cinnamon bun. Gosh, the French know what to do with their pastries, don't they? This lemony pastry, the gooiness of it. This would be blowing the top off the moistometer. In terms of credentials in Paris, there's nowhere better than Motors Coffee.
And I'm the French champion. Burlesque Cup, 2nd place. For what we accomplished the 2 last years, we're like, maybe top 1.
Okay, I know we're having a lot of fun. I don't mean to rush you, but I do mean to rush you. 1 down, we have 6 more places to go today. No, 7 more places to go. We want to try and do 8. Jake has sent us our forfeit that we have to do if we don't manage to hit all these spots.
Yep.
Okay? The forfeit. On the way home, we have to wear our clothes back to front and inside out. That's quite bad.
That's quite weird.
It's all gonna be fun and games until we're going through passport control.
Fine.
Oh, it's reversible.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but back to front.
Oh yeah. My thong's gonna be awful back to front.
Alice, Anna and Anselm, partners that started Tembel, all chefs together. Their roots go really far back. Anna used to work at St. John Bread and Wine. Pedigree is strong.
About 9 years ago, I learned how to make bread and I became obsessed with sourdough. And I started at home. A few disasters where I blocked the drain in my building and flooded the cellar of my building because I put my starter down the toilet.
They not have bins in Paris.
Anyway, I thought it was a good idea.
In France, to call yourself a baker and have a boulangerie, you have to have a diploma that takes about 2 years. You have to be accepted into this French guild, and it is all very regimented. So when Alice, Anna and Anselm set up Tembel, they never called it a bakery. They have always felt like outsiders. But over time, they've stuck to their guns, they've done what they do best, and they've prevailed. What is the elite order?
There's a good bacon and cheese toasty with blue cheese in it though.
The cheddar gives it that ooziness. The blue cheese gives it that funk and that depth of flavour. Bacon's just, well, it's just good bacon, isn't it? God, that's satisfying. This one is a Welsh rarebit with a fried egg on top. Two very brunchy dishes. They have the DNA of something that would really rescue you from a little bit of a dusty head. It's like I've just been given a big hug inside out. We didn't order these, but Francois, the chef, was like, no, you need to try my pancakes. 2 places out of today's 8 done. Next stop, I'm really excited about because we love beer. This is where we can really come unstuck. Do you know what I mean, Will?
I know what you mean, mate.
We maybe have about 8 extracurricular minutes. Should we spend them in the market?
Oh, cool, man. Fleurs.
This is a cool market. So you can buy your veg or you can get some Vietnamese food or some oysters. Does dog eat?
No.
Oysters.
No way, bro.
Go on, Dougie. 4 oysters, £7. We're used to paying like £5 oyster in London at the moment. Such a good oyster. Go on, Dougie.
Everyone in the office would be so proud of you.
The world is quite literally your oyster, Doug. Because also, then you can go home and you can tell everyone that you've had an oyster.
Doug, we're running out of tape, mate.
Munching our 8 minutes. Do you know what, mate? We're actually not taking no for an answer, so come on. I've prepped it all for you. That's a really good one. The taste is very light and delicate.
Wait, let me have 1 second. I actually need a second. Because I'm gonna gag when I do this.
You won't. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. You're a big boy.
Yes, my man.
Oh, dog.
Proud of you.
Oh, dog. Oh. Fresh off of the Oyster Express, we've arrived at Les Couves de Fauve. We've been very excited about this because we love a taproom and they speak our language when it comes to the kind of beers they do. They like the hoppy ones, the big, punchy, beautiful beers. So we're going to grab a couple of cold ones, sit in the sun and try to stay on time. Okay, so this is a very earthy-girthy, deep Imperial Stout, 12%. In here we've got coffee, vanilla, cocoa nibs.
You wine swell all your stouts.
I like it because I really like to get the full flavour.
Oh, I can smell
on my breath. 2 guys, both from Bordeaux, Antoine and Cyprien. Cyprien was in the US, Antoine was in London, both working other jobs, but their real passion was beer. Petit déjeuner aux Amériques, meaning breakfast with Americans, because this tastes like Fruit Loops apparently. Oh, Jesus
my
Christ.
heavens.
That was good, good aim. One of the main fun things with beer, I don't know what it is, but it gives you license to do anything. It's like naming a racehorse. And when you do a tap room, and it's an extension of that. I had a beer the other day just called Fuck. Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
We export to about 20 countries now, and it's always French beer names. So this combination of not only having French beer names, but also something a little bit poetic, it's just even before seeing the can, it just brings something to the brand.
We sat at the bar, enjoying the beers. We wanted to drink every single one of them, and then they were like, hey, we got some cans.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, that's killer. And hey, Will, we might have even got our own name away on one of their beers. The first ever quadruple dry hopped IPA. Okay, this is a very important plan stopped. Oh, stopped. Okay, this is a very important plan stop. We're at Experimental Moray, where we're staying right now. We need new batteries, because how long we got on that one?
21%.
This hotel has only been here for like 2 or 3 years, and it is gorgeous. As soon as you walk in, you see this very sumptuous, low-slung cocktail lounge. We're gonna be sat here at the American bar with my man Max. He's gonna make us a few cocktails. Max asked me how I like my martinis. I said vodka and olive dirty, please. It's powerful juice, that, isn't it? Doug's nice means I'm not into it. So that whiskey in there is 4 Roses whiskey that they infuse with bacon. So they cook the bacon in the morning for the breakfast, and then they use that bacon fat and infuse it into the bourbon. It's delicate, it's subtle, but it does have a slight meaty difference. We've had some mid-afternoon cocktails. When we were last here, we kept on hearing about the Cheval d'Or, and we've managed to get a booking, so let's go. My journey to the Cheval d'Or has taken a lot longer than we expected, which is difficult for 2 reasons. 1, we're late. 2, if I don't wee in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to just fill my entire pants with this. Check back later for part 2. You have to be a truly spectacular restaurant to have a reputation like this one does. Hans Gecko is the chef here. He's wonderfully talented. He's extremely modest and humble, almost to like a painful level.
The food's, I think, okay.
Oh, God.
So what's your story?
My story?
Yeah.
So I'm from Australia originally. We opened up this restaurant 2 years ago.
And how would you describe your food?
So I'd say the food here is fusion between classic French and Cantonese Chinese food.
In 1987, it first opened as a Chinese restaurant. Cambodian immigrants had a little restaurant in the front and their apartment was in the back. Are you guys like the only place that does it in this way?
I mean, it's a bit biased. I would say yes. There's a real synergy in the two. When it's right, it's really like together and it feels like it was meant to be the whole time.
Of all the dishes that Hans does, he says that this is probably the most Chinese one and this is the most French. Steamed scallop with rice cake scallion dressing. The smell on this is phenomenal. Oh, mama. The texture difference between the rice cake and the scallop. Like they're similar, but they're oh so different and they're very complementary of one another. Who have you served and you felt like very excited to serve?
For me personally, Wes Anderson has come like 4 or 5 times now.
Wow.
He's come on his bike in a full suit.
Really?
Yeah.
This is such a fun dish. So this is a trio of foie gras and they're marinated in a char siu marinade. That's the bollocks. You have that very unique foie gras creamy texture, but then a big beautiful punch of that char siu, sticky, lovely zestiness. This is their tortellini stuffed with tofu and ricotta, and they have like a traditional buffalo sauce. But it's like a veal Szechuan sauce. It's very aromatic. You have the chunks of the veal, ooh, and that little Szechuan spice coming in afterwards. It's really delicious, but it's unlike so many things I've had. This is like a spin on a French crepe Suzette, right? Where they sort of fold crepe and cook it in a orange caramel sauce, but it's stuffed with duck, sausage meat, little spring onion, cucumber. And the sauce is like a mix between like orange caramel from a crepe Suzette and a hoisin sauce. Still a lot of savory stuff going on. It's not like a sweet overload. Let me show you the little calendar, okay? You see that white line? We are behind. Pan-Asian is sometimes just a term used to just blanket over an entire history and continent of food. However, when it's done like that, with such heart and soul and finesse and skill, there's nowhere in the world that is doing food like Cheval d'Or. We just walked to Kiss Proof and we give a nice little surprise down this road, twinkling away. There it is, E.T. Not too far from Cheval d'Or, it's another firm chef favourite, Kiss Proof. Some would say it's not even big enough to have a bar, let alone a bar and a restaurant, but they're making it work.
Oh, crikey.
When we're in Cheval d'Or with Hans, he said, oh, make sure you have one of their michelada things. Try and consume it and don't make a mess. Right. Go for a bit of the lime first, and then flick between the michelada and the mezcal. Jesus, it's also sharp. Oh, it's a fun ride. It's not like you're not enjoying it, you're just like, ooh. Oh, that's sharp. The two founders, Elia and Mickey, they're kind of obsessed with Oscar Wilde. His grave is about 10 minutes away from here, and people would go up and kiss it, you know, to sort of pay their respects to Oscar Wilde. These sort of authorities were like, we've got to stop the kissing of the two. It's not quite right. So they put this like perspex around it. And that perspex was meant to be kiss-proof, and it just became kissed. This bar is called Kiss-proof, but it's become kissed. As you can see from all over the walls. Doug, why don't you kiss one of the previous lipsticks? Doug. Right here we have an aubergine feta, little parsley oil. Whoop. There's a real crunch from little croutons and the toasted almonds. These bar snacks are complex. And Ellie, one of the founders, he's a chef. He wanted to bring that sort of chefy nature with no pretense whatsoever. So this is pan con tomato, but really not as you know it. They char their tomatoes, they then smoke them, anchovies on top, and then there's a cheese, a really peppery cheese that almost tastes like cacio e pepe in my mind, called a chancliche. It's oily and all the saltiness from the anchovy is... Let me introduce you to Love on the Beat. Mezcal infused with pineapple and beetroot, which gives it that nice rouge color, and a pineapple sherbet in there, as well as your other usual margarita things. And we're often asked for even more recommendations than the one we feature in these guides, and we get it. But we have an app for that. It's Kiss-proof, as well as about 3,000 other pins from all over the world, are all plotted on the Step map. And by downloading Step and subscribing to Topjaw, you get exclusive access to all those pins all over the world. And it's all killer, no friggin' filler. So I asked, what's going on with the burger? And Ralph was like, it's just a proper burger made the proper way. They grind their own beef using brisket and chuck house dill pickles, double American cheese on a potato bun. Very rare, you know, real beefy taste. It reminds me of that burger that we had in San Sebastian, Bardessi. Very similar to that. So boys, we got a spoon each. And it's quite nice really, because this is what we're going to be like later. Salt and olive oil in an orangey chocolate mousse.
Nice.
That shit is good. Kiss-proof is the exact type of place that I'd sort of want to get lost in. It's small, compact, but so full of soul. We have one more stop. It's one hell of a stop. I think it might be a bit eye-opening for Duggars. How are you feeling, boys?
Yeah, I've had a really good day.
Yeah?
The standards have been high.
Doug, what have you eaten today? You've eaten oyster, you've eaten foie gras.
Didn't eat the oyster.
No, you
Foie
didn't
gras.
Absinthe. Did you have any of it?
Yeah.
Did you?
I quite like licorice, so chill.
Quite nice, actually. Right. Well, next up, less of that.
We're going out tonight.
This next place has been recommended to us so many times that it'd almost be like a criminal offence for us not to come here. This is Sister Midnight. It has drag shows every Saturday, burlesque every other Thursday. Why the name Sister Midnight?
Me and Joe, my partner and husband.
My partner.
Like business partner and my husband. So we used to DJ under that name. So it's the first track on the first solo album of Iggy Pop, produced by David Bowie. And yeah.
Sister Midnight's been an integral part of the community of Pigalle for 7 years now. This area historically has featured a lot of like cabaret and stuff, and is that why you have the drag acts and things here?
Yeah, totally. Like a big part of opening Sister was also kind of like trying to keep hold of the spirit of Pigalle, where like performance and music like came together.
What do you know about the Baja Breeze?
Not a huge amount. Is that what like bubble tea's made out of?
Yeah.
The famous I Want to Be Your Salty Dog. Gin, Aperol, grapefruit, pomegranate molasses.
Oh, that's good.
And then we have the Mad Daddy, which is like a supercharged Negroni.
Negronis need to be supercharged.
Yeah. They're not punchy enough.
Oh my God, that's like someone set a Negroni on fire. Not by spiciness, but by smokiness. I've been into bars that people have tried to replicate that exact type of scenario, feel and emotion, and it's ain't gonna happen. There's no way you can put your finger on it. It just is what it is.
What are we doing, bro?
So, drop Dad off. Drop Will off at the hotel. Doug and I are gonna go out for 1 or 2 more. Cambridge Public House. They say it's a hybrid between a British pub and a Parisian cocktail bar. I need to jumper off because it's really warm in here. But I am wearing my Halloween Cars Pixar t-shirt. And Doug was like, it's not that bad, you can't tell. I was like, yeah, look at the back.
Yeah, it's quite bad, bro.
So this one is called the Shimi Shimiya No. 2, spicy margarita, carrot and Korean gochujang, spicy paste and fermented from South Korea. Enjoy.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's so nice. That's one of my favorite cocktails I've ever had. I love that. I don't like saying it's like a British pub because it's nothing like a British pub, but it is an award-winning cocktail bar. Number 17 in the world, the most recent awards. That's nuts. Paris is really good at speakeasies, like this, Candelaria. Taco restaurant in the front, but you walk through the back, through this white door, to a very cool, very vibey cocktail bar. Around the world in 80 spice bars.
Are not yours?
No, they're both spicy. Next year they'll be celebrating 15 big fat years in this very site. And that's remarkable because a bar is normally, they have a flash in the pan. But this place, pumping, 15 years on. We were trying to fit in Madeline's, but we had to give up that dream, and that was something on our list that we've missed off. We're trying to make up for that by going out on a 2-man mission. We'll have to ask Jake, but I'm pretty sure we have to do the forfeit.
Yeah, I think there's no way out.
Oh, I don't want to put my clothes all back to front.
My thong's gonna be awful back to front.
Oh well, we gotta do this. Okay. That is weird. Okay. Goodbye room. I'm just off out. Things we do for Topjaw, eh? Where's Will? Why aren't you guys back to front? Also full commitment and t-shirt and everything.
That is good.
Yeah.
I did it in the bathroom. So I'll just wait to see how you guys get on.
Also, nice. Works well, look.
That's good.
That is odd. That's like a little butt.
You got no butt.
Thanks.
You've just got like an angle.
Come on, you little squirts. It's all fun and games now, mate. There's no public around. I mean, this is weird. But come on, turn around. Turn around. That's weird.
All right, lads. Garde Nord. Yes, we didn't do the Madeleine place, so yes, we have to do the forfeit. This sucks.